myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's the drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone Podcast. It's me, Michael, and with me as always, S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ward.
How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Doing all right? How are things up north? You guys got snow still? Or is it gone?
It's gone.
Man, good for you. No.
Good for you.
Yeah.
People listening, I went hunting, so no. Sorry if you don't like hunters, but I do that.
I still have yet to shoot a gun. Have I told you that?
Yeah, we got to bring you up to the camp. Get
Yeah, you do.
Locked, stocked, and fucking ready to
Oh
go.
my gosh, you know me. I'd probably get the, what is it? The reverberation from it, and I'll fall over.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah. When you get the kickback
or
from the gun.
Yeah, or get punched in the face with like the, like the handle of it or whatever. It just pops back, and it'd be a good time. But no.
Knocks you the hell out. Be like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
God. Well, in case people didn't notice with that song there, it's National Mickey Mouse Day. So it's like
Hey.
Mickey Mouse's birthday.
Yep.
Today marks the anniversary of the first time he was in a cartoon with Steamboat Willie. So I figured, let's bust out a little Mickey Mouse Club song. So there you go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You're welcome, everybody.
You're
All right.
welcome,
Yeah.
everybody. So what you were talking about in your song,
Yeah.
we have some award winners. Major League Baseball does this every year around this time. It's kind of a way to extend the thoughts, I want to
Yep.
say,
Yeah.
of MLB.
Yep.
For the most
Yep.
part. And yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, basically, they give the awards out and they don't do it all at once. They kind of just space it out.
They do. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we got our, Cy Young and MVP. Those are usually the big ones. And
Yep.
Tarek Skubal brought it home again, back to back.
Yes, he did.
Yep. And Paul Skeens, we've been hitting pretty well on our awards here.
Mhm.
Paul Skeens got the National League MVP, and
Mhm.
it was funny. I was pleased with my pick of Pat Murphy for back-to-back National League Manager of the Year, and
Hey,
he
you
was able
called
to
it.
take it home. But Stephen Vogt takes home American League. Really, shouldn't they give it to AJ Hinch because he's the one that collapsed the Tigers in order to get Stephen Vogt to win the division again? So I feel like AJ
That's a
Hinch
tough one, yeah.
More of a dig at AJ Hinch right there for collapsing the Tigers there. So yeah, Stephen Vogt won it again. So I mean, I guess 15.5 back,
Yes.
but was it really, his improbable journey, or is it, like I said, the Tigers collapsed? But anywho,
Mhm.
Nick Kurtz, American League Rookie of the Year. I think you
Makes
picked Nick
sense.
Kurtz. Yep.
Yep.
And then National League Rookie of the Year, Drake Baldwin. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we kind of seen that. I mean,
yeah.
National League had a couple guys. I mean, you had the Miz, you had Mizorowski, you had a
Yep.
few guys there that looked really promising. But when it was all said and done, I mean, the Drake Baldwin made sense. I mean, he came up early for the Braves and was just kind of lights out for them. I mean, they needed that catcher since they moved on from William Contreras
Yep.
a few years back. So Sean Murphy ain't it, but I think Drake Baldwin, yeah, he's their future behind the plate.
Sean Murphy ain't it, is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on Drake Baldwin. I mean, at least there's one bright spot for the Braves this year, right? So yeah, I mean, then they had the the award show, which is always fun, and the announcing of the first and second teams, and yeah, I mean, it's just it's a really cool way to put kind of a bow on the season here. So
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Speaking of, I mean, we got to give props to Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Aaron Judge taking home his third
Dude, no, I'm just
MVP.
kidding. Third MVP
Yeah.
in his 4 years or something. With this Otani's fourth MVP in the last like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
My God,
Yeah.
it's
Some
we're
3
witnessing,
MVP winners. You got Mike Trout, you got Albert
Yep.
Pujols,
Yep.
you got Alex Rodriguez, Mike Schmidt. Not bad company. Not
Good
bad
company,
company
yeah.
at all. 4
So, yeah, Hall of
MVP
Fame.
winners.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
any?
Bonds, right?
Bonds.
Like
Looking up
Bonds
right
won
now,
like 7.
Barry Bonds is the only one to have 4
Okay.
MVPs. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Shohei ties Barry Bonds. No, Bonds has 7 MVPs.
7 MVPs.
But, I mean, he only wanted to have over 3 MVPs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Tony's an elite company. I well on his way to being a Hall of Famer. 2-time World Series champion now, 4-time MVP winner. Keep it going. Don't Mike Trout yourself here, Shohei. All right, because remember we donned Mike Trout, the next Mickey Mantle, right? And then these last few years, the injuries have just kind of taken its toll on him. But
that he turned 30, and that's all she wrote.
And a partridge in a pear tree,
which goes well for Christmas now. We're in the Christmas season.
We are in the Christmas season. I'm looking out the window at my house here and seeing it's getting dark, and I can see my mammoth decorations that I had. So,
do you have Christmas music playing now? I know you do.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm only asking just for the fans' purpose.
Dude, I play Christmas music all year. Let's be honest. Holiday traditions on Sirius XM. I'll chime into that sometimes during the summer, and I'll ask Alexa to play it every so often, just for get my Christmas kick. So you know me. You know how I roll.
Listen, Shohei Ohtani, just wrapping it up on the awards bow here. Shohei Ohtani, Tarek Skubal won it. We know the Cy Young. We talked about it last week, and obviously makes sense. Paul Skeens probably the best out of the two this season. I mean, he had a phenomenal fucking season. Yeah. But Shohei Ohtani breaking home his 4th is pretty legendary. I mean, he's 30 years old. You were talking about, well, let's hope he doesn't Mike Trout it. I mean, he could, right? I mean, Mike Trout turned 30 and it was all kind of downhill from there.
Yep.
And
completely.
Shohei
agree.
Now still doing good. I mean, were the numbers as big as he's had in seasons past? No, they were a scotch down.
Yep.
But not incredibly bad, right? I mean, but you and I said that this is expected with him pitching again.
Yep. Yeah. We expected his offensive numbers to take, kind of a step back. He obviously wasn't stealing bases like he was when he was just a hitter. But I mean, still take his offensive numbers any day of the week for any member of my team. So
I would too.
Good on him. We're definitely witnessing a generational type player here in both Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and people knew early on. I mean, Aaron Judge had the ceiling, and he has met his ceiling and went above and beyond that.
Went above it. Yep.
The last 2 seasons alone, I mean, he has just been short of. I don't know. There is no short of anything. I mean, it's Hall of Fame status, really. I mean, his RBIs were a scotch down, but you're talking about a guy who finally performed decent in postseason play, and that's kind of been the knock.
It's about time. Yep.
Regular season ends, postseason comes. It's okay. It's time for Aaron Judge to go to sleep.
Well, like Tony La Russa on the bench, right? Just wake him up when the postseason's over.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what was kind of going on with Aaron Judge. But then
wake him up when the Yankees are eliminated. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting too now, because the one thing that the Yankees did good this season, I think, with bringing in some more offensive help with Cody Bellinger and what have you. Now this season, you and I are talking, and Trent Grisham stepped up, who just accepted the qualifying offer for the Yankees.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, man, it's really good for them.
I mean, that's a good fit for the, he's been a good fit for the Yankees there. So
yeah, I mean, the qualifying offer in baseball is almost like the franchise tag in football.
Right.
Yep. The qualifying offer is usually higher than what you would make during the season, unless you're having extraordinary circumstance like Skubal's in, or some of those guys where the meat ain't worth the cut, right? So, with Trent Grisham, he brings definite great power for he could be a table setter and he could clean up bases. It kind of reminds me of Jacoby Ellsbury when they used to have him.
Yeah.
And maybe even a Curtis Granderson type, just he's not a big average guy. He doesn't really hit for average, but he can get on base and move runners over himself. So that's been a really good addition for the Yankees, which was kind of a nothing signing when it happened. But then fast forwarding now, he had a phenomenal season. So I think in our prediction show, I had him going to the Yankees. I'm not sure if you did, but
I'd have to look.
We both had him go. We both had Josh Naylor going to the Mariners.
Yep, we did. How about that?
We knew
kind
it,
of
right?
a no-brainer. I mean,
between
he just
Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor, Steve, You would have taken Naylor over him, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Naylor kind of endeared himself to the Mariners, the city of Seattle there, just what he did down the stretch, and then, in the postseason there, clutch base running, clutch hits and stuff. Yeah, I mean, plus I think he's slightly younger too, right? A little bit younger than
A little
Suarez.
bit younger, yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I would have taken Naylor over Suarez if I had to pick between the two.
Yeah.
Course.
I mean, it makes sense. And what Josh Naylor does during the season, not just at the plate, but defensively on first base, his athleticism, and he's not a liability on the base paths, surprisingly, for how big he is. And you and I said, he's one of the best postseason players we've seen.
Yep.
I mean, the guy comes into the postseason and absolutely is like a wrecking ball.
Yes, dude.
For them. So that's going to be interesting. Like I said, we're going to be talking headlines in a little bit, but moving on with headlines, we got Padres for sale potentially. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that really, we were talking about, how they've gone through managers, like they've gone through, underwear every day of the week here. They can't seem to get a good fit here.
Yep.
Is it something with management? Now we come to find out that they're looking to potentially sell the team there. That could be just a whole new shakeup when it comes to, the front office. So definitely a little bit of turmoil there in San Diego. It kind of came out of nowhere for me.
It kind of came out of nowhere. But I think if we read between the tea leaves, Steve, I think we always knew something was brewing in San Diego, right? We kind of always figured this, just because we said, why doesn't managers stay long? Remember, that was a past show. You and I said, why don't managers stay long
here? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And, and Padres have kind of switched owners a lot, right? I mean, I have a list right here. We'll start with Ray Kroc in the 70s. Before him was
McDonald's.
Arnold Smith. But then, you remember, right? Ray Kroc took over until he passed away. Then his wife, Joan Kroc, took it over.
Yep.
And then cable man himself, Tom Werner, decides to get it in 1990. They sell it to him. And then John Moores from 94 to 2012. Ron Fowler ends up taking it over.
Jeez.
From 2012 to 2020, right? We're seeing a lot of owners switching hands. And then the Seidlers take it over, which is interesting. Peter and John Seidler. And right now, John Seidler has it. That's the guy who has it, but there's been talks that he's going to sell it off. So I think the biggest thing I can say is, one, why so much turnover?
Yeah.
Okay. And two, if it's so much turnover, maybe that's the reason why managers don't stay. Right?
Yeah,
From
that could
Tingler to Bob Melvin and just all the guys they have. Maybe it's just the front office is maybe in shambles. And you ask San Diego Padre fans, I mean, we've talked to a couple and they like AJ Preller for the most part.
Yeah.
So makes you wonder, is there just so much uncertainty within the organization that it's really hard for managers to stick around? And to me, Steve, I think that green lighted what my thoughts were just when they said they might be going up for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. That, it definitely turns on a light, I think, with that uncertainty there in the front office. You don't know, from way you rattled off those owners, my God. I mean, you think about some, ownership of, sports franchises, you turn, trades hands 2 or 3 times in a century. It seems like, it seems like you hold on to owning a team. It's coveted. You want to hold on to it for a long time. And I did not realize the changing of hands, in San Diego quite like that till you said that. So, yeah, I mean, that definitely could shed some light on why managers are hot trot, so to speak, on getting out of San Diego. That's wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, something comes of it, and someone actually holds on to it longer than 5 years or so.
Well, in the Seidler's case, I think he was taking it over for his brother who died. Right. I mean, that was the process where
that makes sense.
He wanted to keep it in the family. It was the most thing. It was like, okay, okay, my brother died. My brother Peter died. John's going to take it over for his brother because he wanted to keep it in the family. And, and Peter didn't even have it long. Peter only had it for 3 years before he passed away. So I understand that. Right. And
yeah, that one makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And So this is where we're at right now with this, and you figure who's potential buyers out there. Well, Mark Cuban at one time expressed interest, but he got Mark Cuban got out of the ownership game altogether. I mean, he doesn't own the Mavs anymore. He says the future, if you really want to look to the future of owning a baseball team, I think when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be groups of investors. I mean, look at what the Dodgers are showing that a successful team nowadays that needs more money than just one wealthy individual is the way to go. And that's why they can afford a lot. Now, it's not a hot take. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. It just isn't talked about a lot. And
that's true.
I think your Illiches, your Steinbrenners, they're going to be a thing of the past. And eventually they're going to, the game's going to be maybe too expensive for them. We'll find out when the new CBA happens. But I think the game's so expensive for them, Steve, that a lot of these teams are going to have to end up, and this is just me reading the tea leaves into the future here. I think a lot of them are going to end up having to sell in the future, and it's going to be more of a collaborative group effort. I mean, look at the people who own the Orioles now. Look at all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Alex Rodriguez,
that's what Mark Cuban said. That's why he got rid of the Mavs, because he feels like he just can't be an owner anymore. The game has changed, for ownership.
I mean, I totally get that with the collaboration. I think, A-Rod, he owns the part owner of the Timberwolves.
Part owner.
Yeah. I mean, having a group like that, kind of, sharing the money and kind of the responsibilities, I think that might be the way to go.
Yeah.
But, looking at, is this really a good time to sell the team? Because like you said, we're about to be up on a new CBA deal. You don't know what, if you sell right now, the new owner is not going to know what he's coming into or she's coming into. And it could kind of ultimately impact how much you can actually sell the team for with the uncertainty of a new deal on the horizon.
Right.
Yeah.
So. And I think in today's game in sports world, it's Mark Cuban said, the future of ownership lies in real estate. And to be honest, I think he's partially right, because when you become an owner, you got to look into, is this arena, is this stadium, is this whatever I'm in, is my stadium worth keeping, or do I need to build another one?
Right.
And a lot of that's within the real estate deals, and usually that's a team effort to make something like that happen. And I think a lot of cities are tired of paying for stadiums, especially teams who lose a lot, right? It's like, why are we paying for updates? Why are we paying for new stadiums when we're not like the Dodgers? We're not like, what I mean? The Yankees and stuff like that. And I think the taxpayers are getting kind of fed up with it. So I think in the future, you're going to see investment. Mark Cuban was basically stated as saying, I think you're going to see real estate investment groups kind of take that over. I think the future of ownership is real estate, and that makes a lot of sense. It does.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to look at the future of ownership in sports, well, fella, look no further.
Yeah, look no
you
further.
Found it with the Dodgers.
Yep. Look no further. You found it with the Dodgers. A group of people with a lot of money going to pony it up and buy a team. And I definitely can.
But it makes sense, right, Steve? Maybe you have players now reaching almost $1 billion status.
You can't have one person float the or front the load for that, To stay competitive, it can't just be all on one person. It's got to be a group.
What if MLB says that? I think this collective bargaining agreement is going to be pretty eye-opening. I think it's going to be, we're going to have to see something. And if they don't want a salary cap in baseball, I really think the owners, it's almost like, hey, you got to have this many owners involved with the team to play, or you got to have this X amount of net worth and spend X amount of dollars. There has to be a floor.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see that in sports.
If you're not going to put a salary cap in there, you got to do something like that, right?
You do. You have to.
If you want to be an owner in the MLB, you have to, your salary, we won't put a cap on how much you can spend, but we put a cap on how much it needs to, your baseline,
right?
Just to stay in the mix here, so you don't have teams that are only spending as much as one player on their entire payroll,
right? No, you're exactly right. And can you blame the owners for being cheap? Yes and no. I mean, if you have an owner who has a high net worth, but it's like, dude, I'm not going to bust my nut on this team and then not get, you know what I mean? It's like, these guys are making more than me now. And it's, you kind of got to sympathize in that way. But at that point, it's like, well, then maybe you should sell the franchise. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's up to the league to be able to enforce that, where it's like, maybe you guys should start putting up your teams for sale. And I know that's pretty weird to say. It's like, well, but if you're pricing yourselves out, you're only hurting the fans by just being cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you're definitely not going to go to the games because, what's the point of going to the games? So you can watch, your owner obviously doesn't give a shit.
Right.
So why would I want to show up to a guy who doesn't give a crap and watch a team that he doesn't give a crap about?
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Yeah.
It makes no sense, Steve. And that's kind of where we're at.
Spend money. All right.
Spend money, bitches.
Spend money. Yeah.
The last little part of our headlines for our show, Paul DePodesta. We'll just call him Jonah Hill from Moneyball. What was his name in that? Peter Brand or something?
Something like that, yeah.
So Paul DePodesta didn't want anything to do with Moneyball, the film. Barely wanted anything to do with the book. But those who don't know Paul DePodesta, he is the reason we have Moneyball, right?
Yep.
One of the few reasons between him and Billy Beane. And actually, it's more Bill James is why we have Moneyball, but the guys who actually enforced it were at the high level of the game, and that's where Billy Beane, if I don't know if who's ever listening, if you never watched Moneyball, watch it. It's a great baseball film with very little baseball being played. It's the game behind the scenes, right? It's how a team's built, and basically the Paul DePodesta, played by Jonah Hill and changed the name, was basically recruited by Billy Beane from the Indians, now the Guardians, but the Indians at the time, to join the Oakland A's franchise. And what they said, well, the Oakland A's had that problem. The Oakland A's couldn't pay players enough money. They were losing people like Jason Giambi, Johnny Damon. And so they thought, well, how do we put the same stats on the field without paying them a lot, right? So it's like, okay, well, we'll get 3 guys that can make up for Giambi to play first base, right? And to theirs, it wasn't about defense. It was all about offense. How do you manufacture runs?
Right.
A walk is as good as a hit in Moneyball. And we see a lot of Moneyball in today's game. It's called analytics. So analytics is basically, I won't break it down, but basically we'll go to the AJ Hinch, guys, 100 pitches, take them out. No matter if he can go more, it's about saving the arm, and it's about getting a fresh arm in there because, analytics say pitcher past 6 or by when they hit 100 pitches, they start to decrease. Yep. Now, obviously baseball eyes, I've played the game a long time. I understand guys can pitch well beyond 100 pitches, but it's an odds game now with analytics, and you got to play the odds and you got to do it smartly. So Moneyball also helps you to be able to get those stats you need, but at a cheaper rate. So anyways, Paul DePodesta is a very interesting and controversial figure in baseball. He left Oakland, he went around a little bit, and then he wound up on the Cleveland Browns, who decided to play Moneyball in the NFL, which makes no fucking sense.
Oh, yeah. It's really worked out well for them.
NFL, how does it even work?
I don't know, dude.
Because PFF stats are kind of, I think they're not great. Yeah. But Paul DePodesta, I don't know how good he did there because we all see Cleveland Browns.
We all see Cleveland, right? Yeah.
Right. But now the Rockies have decided to take his services on. And, okay, just face value, Steve, knowing what you know about DePodesta and the Rockies, love the move, hate the move, indifferent, don't give a shit. What's your thoughts?
I love them. I'm in love with the move. I'd say I'm lukewarm to mild love for the move. Right. Just because of his history in Oakland. I'm reading a little bit about what he wants to do. And the big thing is about communication. He wants to clean up communication within the front office. Yeah. Everyone being on the same page here. It seems like not everyone, everyone was off doing different things. They need to all have a cohesive one plan, lay the groundwork, be able to, get everyone on the same page within the organization. So I think that's key in building the foundation for a successful franchise. But, I love what he did in Oakland. I honestly... some of his moves were a little, some of the ideas in Cleveland, are signing Deshaun Watson, all the, but we're not a football podcast, but, questionable football moves, but this guy's obviously a good baseball mind. And I'm I'm excited to see what he can do because the Rockies needs fucking help. I mean, when you're big players, Chris Bryant and the guys played in less than a full season in the last 3 years.
Yep.
It's they need some help. So
Yeah,
he's got
and
his
I
work cut out for him,
he
but
does.
I'm excited to see what he does.
I am too, Steve. And
Yeah.
I think their drafts have been pretty solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charlie
Yep.
Conlon, love that draft pick a couple years ago. I love Ethan Holiday, Jackson
Yeah.
Holiday's brother. I
Yep.
love the pick. I love the international signing of Ezekiel Tovar.
Yes, I love that guy. Yeah.
I love that guy is developing more and more. They have a lot of good young players on that organization, and to get somebody like DePodesta in there,
Uh-huh.
you're going to talk about a different approach because this team shows they're not willing to spend the money, so they got to
Right.
find a way to develop
Yep.
a team of analytics darlings at a cheaper price. And I think what they're going to end up doing is working from the draft, and they're going to do what the Pirates do, develop them, which the Pirates have been very good at developing
Ship
prospects.
him out.
And then when they need to get paid, goodbye. And
Yep. Deuces.
that's what this move tells me. Now,
Yeah.
I could be wrong because we've seen contracts the Cleveland Browns have made,
Yeah.
right?
They paid some money on some real, interesting, interesting people. So, but they've shown they can spend a little bit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see, but the Rockies need to do something. We don't talk about the Rockies other than to laugh at them on the show a lot. So,
true story.
well, the way I look at our podcast, I always feel we're for the fans.
We are, yeah.
Because we are fans, and we
Yep.
don't like paying ridiculous tickets on non-winning teams, right? We don't like paying for cable services like FanDuel Sports, Detroit, or whatever else is out there. We feel sympathize with fans of teams who got to sit there and just go through the same bullshit over and over again. And you got to figure, I always feel like we stand up for the fans.
I think we do,
We're
yeah.
fans of baseball. We're fans of players,
Yep.
but we're also realistic, and we're realistic in terms of you got to put a winning team out as best as you can. And
Right.
to undersell your team every season, like the Rockies, like the Pirates, I think that's disrespectful to fans, in my opinion. It's almost disrespectful to the players who even want to win.
Right. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah,
we're here. Yeah, we're here to win. You give us this shit. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're giving. PNC Park out in I don't know if that's what it's named anymore. The Pittsburgh Pirates Park is one of the best looking parks in all of baseball. Pirates are a storied franchise. Why can't you could put people around Paul Skeens that aren't growing prospects?
Yep.
That's not the cheap people of Brian Reynolds and gang. You know what I mean? It's why aren't you in the bid to get Alex Bregman? Why aren't you trying to get out there and trade for Jarren Duran and some of those guys?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And I think our podcast kind of sticks up for the fans. Like, yeah, this is bullshit. And I'm hoping this DePodesta move really works for the Rockies, but I see the writing on the wall. I love the move. Trust me, I do love the move, but only if the Rockies are willing to spend. And if they're not, then buckle up, Rockies, because it's going to be a tough decade again. So.
And we're still convinced Chris Bryant has photos on the organization or something.
That or the Rockies are holding his family hostage. Remember that?
God. Jeez.
So, beautiful segue.
Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful segue. A few years ago, Chris Bryant was one of the top headlines we were talking about. Steve and I, we kind of come up with our own creative content copyright, right? We're the editors of our own newspaper. That's what we do in this segment we're about to do, called the top 5 headlines or storylines this offseason. Steve, we have the top 5 storylines of this season, offseason, coming into it. We know the big ones. We're going to talk about the big ones, but let's do a top 5 here. 5-1. You'll just give me your 5-1 and tell me why 5-1. Okay. Steve, what is your number 5 top headline or story of this season, off season?
I love coming up with these. It really gets your creative brain going, making you think you're working at a newspaper, coming up with these headlines.
I know, right? They're fun.
Number 5 for me is Bow Me the Money. All right. As we all know, Blue Jays extended a $22 million contract qualifying offer to Bo Bichette, which he has turned down, making him now a free agent, hoping to get in the market of $200 million plus. For his services. So, I'm basically looking at Bo Bichette coming off a great year this past year for Toronto, priming himself up for a good, potentially $200 million plus payday. So, Bow Me the Money is my number 5.
Top shortstop in the offseason, right?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And it's really funny, in years past, you've had, more and more shortstops on the list than not as many this offseason. He's definitely that prized possession, but for free agents, the shortstop services are a little bit smaller, which could make him primed to make even more money because, there's not as many to come by. So
what is, real quick, before you go to your number 4 headline, what is his target range? What would you pay him as a GM?
I do
realistically.
Between 200 and 225, maybe.
Okay.
I'd say I'd top out around a little over 2, because, he has shown, he, like I said, great year last year, definitely has the potential. But if you go back to the year before, it was like, all right, what the heck's going on here, Bill? He's had kind of up and down the injuries a little bit, missed most of the postseason due to injury, and came back for the World Series. But, for the most part, it's been pretty consistent. But, you look at, the injury shortened 81 game season in 2024 when he hit only 225. Other than that, he's been a very serviceable, very solid player. But I'd say, between 200 and 225 for a contract for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my AAV, I kind of want to get him in the 40 range. Go with Bo Bichette, I would probably do like 4 years, 160.
Okay.
I know he'd probably want definitely more than that, but I don't want to get him up to the 50 range. And he's had a couple good seasons now, but I want to make sure like he's locked in, I mean, if I'm the Blue Jays, I'm going to give him good top dollar, but I'm not paying him Vlad money at all.
Fuck no.
No.
Nope. So number 4 for me, pitch please. All right.
Jeez.
Pitch please. There's a plethora of pitchers that highlight this off season, during our free agent prediction show. I think most of our predictions were starting pitching and relief pitching. You got the Dylan Ceases, the Frenber Valdez, Ranger Suarez. For relief, you got Edwin Diaz, Robert Suarez, Rafael Iglesias. So there's a lot of arms for teams to target in the off season. So, so it's I'd be curious to see who goes where because there's a hell of a lot. I'll say that.
I love it.
So stay tuned on that one. So yeah, pitch please is my number 4 pick, and number 3 is something that we touched on in our open. It's show me the way, Padre. Show me the way, Padres. Uncertainty in ownership and direction lead to question marks on what is next for the Padres. Obviously, you have a team that has a great core in Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis. Just a great group of people that are there. But you brought in a new manager again, and you have uncertainty of whether the ownership is going to sell. All those question marks in the front office can lead to uncertainty on the field too. So I'm curious to see what happens here with San Diego, not only with potential ownership up for sale or and also what's going to happen, as far as the team goes. Number 2 is second time around. Alex
Step
Bregman.
by step.
Yeah, I think it is. Is it? Yeah, I think that is
second time around.
We'll make it better, babe. The second time around. Good pull right there. Yes, it
Love it.
was definitely step by step. Step by step for these guys here. Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, and Jorge Polanco headlined the free agents, giving it another go after testing free agency last season. I think Pete Alonso was poised. He thought he was going to get a nice little payday, and then ended up having to settle back with the Mets. So he's given it another go after a fantastic season for him this year. So I think he definitely will get that payday, whether it's with the Mets like we're thinking, or if another team will swoop in and get him. We shall see. But yeah, just looking at those three players, among others who are giving a free agency another shot after just being on the market just this
Right.
past season. And then my number one headline is A Tale of Two Kyles. Kyle Tucker and Kyle Schwarber lead the Kyles into free agency. We shall see where each of these Kyles land and what kind of money each Kyle will get. I think Kyle Tucker will obviously garner more pay than Kyle Schwarber, and we'll see if Kyle Schwarber leaves Philadelphia for other pastures, and where exactly coveted free agent Kyle Tucker will land. So yeah, number one for me is A Tale of Two Kyles.
Well, I mean, that's one of the biggest stories, right? Where's Schwarber? Where's Schwarber? Where's Schwarber?
The Schwarber.
Go?
He should start calling himself that too. I'm the
Schwarbs.
The Schwarbs.
My headline, starting with number 5, is Vladdy and the Jays. Vladdy and the Jays. Blue Jays return to greatness or regress? That's the big question, right? I mean, This season they had 94 wins, 94 and 68. And they made the World Series, of course, and they did everything that Steve and I were hoping they were going to do. I mean, this was a team that regressed last year. We're wondering, what the fuck is it done? And Schneider and gang just said, fucking hold my beer, right? Charlie Montoyo and gang were like, hold my beer. And
yep.
I thought they did so good. I thought this was something that, they were kind of waiting for it. I mean, because once Charlie Montoyo was fired, and then you bring in Schneider, then you're like, okay, he's a younger manager. Okay, what are we going to do with this team? Well, younger manager actually fits this young squad. And then it was like, okay, then the next big thing, now that your prospects are developing, they signed from big free agents, right? George Springer and what have you. And but Shane Bieber they traded for. But then it was, we got to play that. We got to pay Vlad because we're not sure if, Vlad's the future or not. Well, they knew Vlad was their future. So they gave him a ridiculously huge contract. I think he's worth every penny just because he is the face of your franchise.
Yep.
So they needed to establish that. So I want to see if they're going to regress or if they're going to still be in form. I think a big question is the rotation, because it's going to look a little different next year, and their bullpen. I mean, they have a couple guys that might be leaving. So how's that bullpen going to look in year 2? And the biggest one is Bichette. I mean, are they going to sign Bichette? Can they afford him? I mean, what's going to happen? So I'm interested to see how that goes. My number 4 biggest headline is Posey's new groove. Buster Posey led Giants' new era. When he got Tony Vitello and some of these guys, or the new manager that he brought in, you see the trade, right? They got Rafael Devers in a trade from Boston. I think this team is going to be very active in free agency. I don't know if Buster's the kind of guy that's going to overpay for somebody, but we're going to find out. And my predictions say that, yeah, I think he will, but he's going to be smart about it. I think this is a team that needs a second baseman. So I think Gleyber Torres, I think they definitely need to improve their starting rotation. So Framber Valdez, I think, would be very good. I mean, there's a lot of things they can do. Are they going to re-sign Justin Verlander? We don't know. But I know that Buster Posey wants to keep this team young. He wants it young, and he wants them ready and hungry. And that's, I think, going to be how he moves forward. And getting Vitello in here from Tennessee is just the first step in what Buster Posey is going to do, because for so long, the team has been stagnant. And I think under Buster Posey, you're going to see a new era of Giants baseball and a new direction. That's going to be a big headline this offseason. Sure. Number 3, I went Japan approved. New wave of Japanese stars enter the league. I mean, we know a lot. I mean, we know, let's see, the first/third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto. He's going to be posted. The biggest one of them all, the Menataka Murikama. Looks like he might be posted. A starting pitcher in Tatsuya Imai, who has been getting huge predictions based. A lot of people think that the traction on that one's going to be the Yankees or the Red Sox.
Right.
That might be big on him as well, but we know the Dodgers will be right there as well. So, and then from the KBO league, the Sungmun Song, but he's not Japanese. But between Murakami, I mean, and these guys, I think you're going to start seeing more Japanese players come over every season. I mean, we've seen it with Shota Imanaga and just the push since Shohei, basically. It's been more and more every year. So I think it's something that we got to keep our eye on, because a lot of these guys are all-stars over there. Can they be all-stars when they come over here? That's going to be a big thing moving forward.
Agreed.
The international signings are huge, and this is one of them. And I think when you look at free agency, you have to add in the Japanese players moving forward, because that could make or break your team. Everybody's going to be looking for the next Shohei Ohtani, right? So that's something that we're looking for in this offseason. Number 2, you would think my number 1 would be this, but this is going to be number 2.
Okay.
And I brought it in on my headlines before you scooped it up. Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Don't. The mystery of Tigers
Scott Boras, all right?
or trading Scooble.
Very
I mean, this is the
Boras-esque
leading
there.
thing, right? Last year it was Soto. What's everybody going to do with Soto? Soto. Is the Toronto Blue Jays going to trade Vlad Jr.? That was last year's offseason. This is the offseason, very much the tale of the two Kyles, right, that you have, and Tarek Skubal. What's happening with Tarek Skubal? Is Tarek Skubal going to remain a Tiger? Because every day that goes by, in my opinion, I think his price to trade him gets a little less. If you start the season with Skubal on your roster as a Detroit Tiger, he's going to become a rental player, right? If you decided, well, we're just going to trade him during the season, you're not getting what you think you're going to get. So Scott Harris has a big decision to make. Do you sign him and extend him for the ridiculous amounts of money? And Scott Boras, Tarek Skubal's agent, came out and said the next offer better be starting at $350 million. Fuck, right?
Jeez.
And for a team that we know right now doesn't want to pay, or I don't know where they stand on that, but all signs point to they don't want to pay that, then they might just say, fuck it, we're just going to keep him and make our last ditch effort run with him.
Yep.
And then trade him maybe at the deadline, or just do what the Angels did and say, fuck it, we're not trading him right now. We're going to go all in.
And right in there and then get a compensatory pick after he leaves.
Right. And just say, fuck it. And that was like the worst decision the Angels should have made. I mean, they should have got something out of it, in my opinion. I mean, something more. I mean, they should have thought about that the season before, right? Before he was entering his final season as an Angel. And I think they could have got a lot more for Ohtani.
For sure. Oh, God,
when you found out it just wasn't working, how it was working. So, Tarek Skubal, this is going to be an interesting one. It's something that Steve and I are going to keep tabs on all season. We're going to have our predictions about it. We've already, if you listen to our past shows, we've made predictions about it, of what we would want to, we'd even play GM for the day. We were like, this is what we would do. It's going to be interesting, bro. It's just going to be interesting to see how this all pans out in the Scooby and the Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Don't.
Scott Boras fumbles this when he's fired, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, unforgivable if he fucks this up. But it's hard, because what do you do, right? Do you pay a guy and be committed to a guy like that over who is great, right? We know he might be great for the next few years, but
this is also the same guy that said that would he have gone in to face Jorge Polanco again? He said, the Polanco and me matchup just it wasn't in our cards for that night, meaning Game 5 of the ALDS. So he basically said that he would have taken himself out too.
Oh my God! See, I don't want to hear that from a starting pitcher, an ace. I want Max Scherzer out there, like that kind of mentality. No, you have to fucking kill me to take me out.
The
last headline is the one that we're going to be following all season long next year in 2026, and it's I call it the last ride, an MLB and CBA story. I mean, the last season before the collective bargaining agreement nightmare is about to happen.
God.
This could be all smoke and mirrors, and then we just laugh when it's like, oh yeah, they signed a new one. Here we go.
Yep.
That was, when you look at it like a cheap firework, you're like, well, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, that was a dud.
Yeah, that fucking blew. Yeah, this could very well become that, but all signs point to a strike. All signs point to MLB. The league wants salary caps, and the players' union is just basically like, fuck you, that is never going to happen. Basically, Bryce going to fight Rob Manfred if he kept saying that in the locker room. So,
oh god,
fucking awesome. Steve and I, or me and you, we always talk about should they not? We're a big proponent of owners just spending more, but then I talked earlier about the evolution of owners, and I really do think the league needs to evaluate itself and figure, should we push owners to maybe sell to teams that have more owners, or maybe not fully on sell, but maybe sell certain shares of your team to bring in more owners, so you can not only increase the value of the team like that, but also bring in better players, because you don't want to just do it yourself. You know what I mean? So see it from both sides. It's going to be interesting though, because I know MLB is going to push hard for this, because the contracts are getting a little ridiculous. And the worst thing MLB wants to do is raise ticket prices, because they'll price themselves right out. Right now, they make the most money because their ticket sales, right? I mean, it's nothing to go to a Major League Baseball game, right, for just a normal seat in the summer. But if you're going to sit there and price yourselves out to where you're becoming like a football game every day, it could never happen, and no one's ever going to pay those prices.
Speaking of that, I haven't been to a football game in like over a decade.
Yeah, because the prices are ridiculous, dude. It's like you got $1,000. Like, come on, just on hand just to go to one. Like, fuck you.
No. Especially even since the Lions got good. Now you really are pricing yourselves out,
Yeah, I mean, say you start at $400 a ticket. Okay, well, you're not going to go by yourself. You know what I mean?
No. No, you got to get someone, at least one other person to go with you. You're not going to be that person that's just sitting there by yourself.
Think of it like this. Let's think of it like a blue-collar guy. You say you're a blue-collar guy that makes maybe at most $50,000 a year, right? I don't know what the average in the country is, but say you're making $40 to $50 a year. Say it's $300 to $400 a ticket. You want to bring 3 to 4 people with you. There's one of those people that have to put that on their card, and then they got to hope to pay them back. And some people can't do that. Some people are like, dude, I don't want to be the one to fucking spend the money. You know what I mean? And then when you get there, it's like, okay, let me spend the money. And then I don't want to go to fucking buy a $200 jersey or, a $30 hot dog. I mean, it just gets so much, and with MLB, they got to really think of how they're going to approach this next CBA, because this will make or break the league moving forward.
I agree.
And if it all goes bad, like we're talking about, if Scott Harris muffs this Tarek Skubal deal, if Manfred fucks the CBA, they're gonna want a new fucking commissioner in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people that are still butthurt about the strike in '94, and still haven't turned around. Imagine if they screwed this one up again too,
bro. Bro, it'll be so bad. So, Steve, those are my headlines. I ain't taking it back.
I ain't taking them back. Take them or leave them. If not, who cares, right?
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Oh boy, I love it. Always a good one. With that, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Yeah, Steve, let's do it, and you can go first.
Thank you. You know what? I don't feel like going. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, fuck you. We start having this fucking on-camera fight. You're like, what's going on, guys?
Gosh.
What's wrong?
Hey, you want to do this? You throwing down? Oh, we're throwing down. All right, get right up in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like the camera.
Just like. Yeah. You should be able to get this one. I think it should be pretty easy. I dug into my collection here. I'm going to say this guy has spent his entire career with one team.
Let's go.
Has probably one of the coolest beards I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
He was selected in the second round of the 2008 Major League Baseball draft.
Okay.
I'll read some statistics on him. Well, first of all, after being selected in the second round of the 2008 MLB draft, he had previously been drafted in the 28th round of the 2004 draft by the Florida Marlins as a pitcher, and in the 20th round of the 2005 draft by the Boston Red Sox, declining to sign both times. Like I said, spent his entire career here with one team from 2011 through this past season. We'll see if he comes back. He's a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner, your 2017 NL batting champion, has a career .293 average, 227 home runs, 801 runs batted in. His nickname is Chuck Nasty. And like I said, has the most majestic beard I think you've ever seen. He spent his entire career with the team that we talked about earlier, the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck Nasty.
Yeah, Chuck Nasty.
Well, if Charlie Blackmon does return to the Rockies,
yes,
he can't be as a player.
No, God, no.
No, but it will be as a what do you call it? Like a not an advisor, like an advisor.
One of those advisors to the GM,
or like a rep of the team, kind of like what Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson are to
totally.
To them, but yeah, good old Charlie Blackmon.
Good Charlie Blackmon. Well, the card I have, he does not have his majestic beard on.
Of course not.
He's actually clean shaven. It says 2014 Topps Heritage, number 404, going anywhere right now between $1.10 and $2. So
ooh,
get a Chuck Nasty.
Get a Chuck.
Chucky.
Never knew that was his nickname, by the way.
Yeah, it's like Nasty. It's a great spelling of it. So there you go.
Okay, Steve.
I bet that beard gets nasty. It gets all.
Oh, dude! You ever look at Brandon Marsh? Dude looks just dirt.
Yeah.
I used to love Josh Reddick when he played for the Oakland A's, and then when he played
the beard
for the Red Sox, he'd have this long, like dirty, like beard when it was cool. But now it just looks like you're homeless.
Yeah,
dude.
remember when Hunter Pence looked homeless? Now he's like an analyst for ESPN and looks all clean cut.
Yeah, the dirty beard is. I think it's going away, but some guys are just still trying to hold it out there. It's like, man, even hockey guys don't do that.
Just give it up, man. It's over.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Okay, so I dug into my little chest, into my collector's chest here, Steve, and I put a guy we've talked about before. Not a lot, but we do talk about him from time to time. He bats left-handed, throws right-handed, was named MVP of the 2024 MLB All-Star Game. He has played for Mexico's national baseball team, which is huge. His career stats, it's not really much to speak of because he hasn't played that long. I mean, he's only been in the league since his debut was in 2021 with the Boston Red Sox. But he's a one-time All-Star, 2-time AL triples leader. The guy's an extra bases fucking machine. And, it kind of came out earlier in a Netflix documentary, The Clubhouse, a year with the Red Sox, that a quote, he said, I had my rifle and I had a bullet and I pulled the trigger and the gun clicked, but nothing happened. He was going to commit suicide.
Wow.
And just found his like a new purpose in life.
Yeah.
But this guy's can be a premier outfielder. He's played DH at times, but he's definitely better when he's in the outfield, and definitely possibly a trade candidate for the season.
I remember we talked about that when that documentary came out. It's Jarren Duran.
Jarren Duran is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting to see. Duran. I wonder if the Red Sox will sign him in the offseason. Not sign him, if they'll trade him in this offseason.
We talked about it at the deadline. He was trade bait at the deadline. It felt like prime candidate this past season. So
I never know what the Red Sox. I mean, that could even be a headline too. Like, what the hell are the Red Sox doing? Like, they have a good team, but like, what's their plan?
What's their direction? What's their purpose? Yeah,
because it almost seems like they're going to give up on Alex Bregman, even though he's like your only third baseman right now.
Yeah,
and if you're going to give up on Jarren Duran,
so then you have no third baseman. It's crazy.
It's crazy. The card I picked, Steve, is the 2025 Topps Chrome Power Players.
Ooh.
Beautiful looking card. Okay. I'll have it somewhere. It'll pop up. Kind of like a 70s throwback, kind of like Flash. I love everything about it. He's like in a yellow jersey. Dope. And that right now is going anywhere from $2.25 to over $4 right now. Kind of a
Nice.
low risk, hopefully a high reward for sure. But yeah, Jarren Duran is my pick for this week.
Love it. Well, with that, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
Let's do it, Steve.
All right. Well, we're
Way too excited about that.
Let's do this. Sticking with the Red Sox here and looking on eBay for this particular person. One of my favorite cards just looking would be his man, so many good choices. This 2015 Topps number 500. It's none other than a happy birthday to Red Sox great and Hall of Famer David Big Papi Ortiz, born on November the 18th of 1975.
Ooh.
Yeah, career 286 batting average, 2,472 hits, 541 home runs, 1,768 runs batted in. Began his career with the Minnesota Twins from 1997 to 2002. Then they made a stupid move and decided to get rid of him, basically dropped him and added a guy who ended up never even playing for the Twins into his roster spot. The Red Sox were like, all right, cool, we'll take that. Pick him up and play with the Red Sox from 2003 to 2016. 10-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion, World Series MVP in 2013, ALCS MVP in 2004, 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 2-time AL Hank Aaron Award winner, Roberto Clemente Award winner, AL home run leader in 2006, 3-time AL RBI leader, Boston Red Sox number 34 retired and also a part of the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame, inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in 2022 on his first ballot. Yeah. Basically the ultimate fuck you to the Twins right there, right? My God. Yeah. Anyway, a little trivia on Big Papi. He was the first player ever to hit 2 walk-off home runs in the same postseason. That would be the 2004 Magic run for the Red Sox. It was in the Angels in the 2004 ALDS, and then he also hit a walk-off against the Yankees in the 2004 ALCS.
Nice.
Yeah, so happy birthday to David Ortiz.
What card did you have for him? Maybe I missed that.
I was looking online. I mean, I have Ortiz cards. I have to dig through my collection, but I was looking. I like his 2015 Topps number 500.
That's a good-looking card.
It was a good look.
Remember that one of his better ones, or first ones, was when he was with the Twins, and looking like straight Movan, dude.
Right.
When he was with the Twins, I never thought he'd be who he would become.
No, and his stint with the Twins, I think he had a grand total like 59 home runs or something, and 4 years or so with them.
He reminded me of Big Christmas from Cleveland. That's what he reminded me of.
Maybe Big Christmas will go somewhere else and have a Big Papi-like career because he's he shows flashes, and kind of like Ortiz showed flashes there of in Minnesota. But can you imagine if he was in his run that he had with Boston, if he would have stayed in Minnesota with Morneau and Mauer?
Yeah. Man, can you imagine? Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Torrey Hunter stuck around too.
That would have been a killer team. I don't know, man. Yeah, Joe Mauer.
Ron Gardenhire running the show.
Oh, Ronnie would love that.
Yeah.
They would have put him up and probably one of the better head managers in a while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Gardenhire, his knock was he couldn't get the team out of the first round. Usually, I think he got the ALCS once or twice.
But with him, he was a good guy to get chemistry. He was a chemistry guy, a team guy. He could really get the players to buy into what he was selling. So that's pretty hard as a manager to do. So the fact that he could do it was And he wasn't even a big analytics guy. He didn't like analytics until he came to the Tigers. He was like, I guess I'll try this analytics thing.
Yeah, that's what he said when he hired. I guess I got to try this analytics thing, huh? All right, cool.
He's old school, man. But that's a dope card, man. Dope card.
Yeah, for sure. So happy birthday to David Ortiz.
Hey, happy birthday, you son of a bitch. That's a fucking show. Man, great show. Great show indeed. Next week, we're going to be talking more free agents getting signed.
Yep. We're getting closer to winter meetings. Those will be coming up about 3 weeks or so from now. We'll be balls deep in winter meetings. So I think it's December 10 or so. I think is around the time they start. So buckle up. It's going to be fun.
Next week, we will have a show. Thanksgiving. I know everybody's wondering.
No, don't worry. We still go. The only time we really take time off is that week between Christmas and New Year's. I think that's usually.
We're probably the only podcast that really does that.
Yeah, usually the one week that we take off a year.
We're fucking diehards, dude.
Well, we are. Yeah.
Here, I'm giving you a pound right now. Hit it. Boom.
There we go.
All right, guys, have a great
I had COVID
week.
one time, and I still kept doing the show. That's just that's dedication right there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea what was going on during the show, but I was there.
He was there. He was like
there.
fucking Mortal Kombat, ready to get
It was.
fatality.
103 fever, but hey, I was upright enough to do the show.
Fuck yeah, he did, dude.
Michael sometimes had to tell me we're transitioning to something else, but we still got the show done.
Yeah, man. It's fucking absolutely. And with that, have a great week, guys, and we will catch you guys all next week.
Deuces.
Bye.
God.